Let's go again. Okay, so we need to redefine freedom. We see freedom as this temporary thing that we get in exchange of slaving away in jobs we hate or doing what we kind of dislike. What's actually happening here is people are chasing freedom through slavery, and that's a wrong way to look at it because true freedom is discipline in disguise. When you have discipline, you have control over the freedom you want to choose. Typically, people are addicted to things, and you know about this, you know all the bad habits and vices and stuff like that. So people keep themselves imprisoned to all these bad habits, and they think that's freedom. Basically, what's happening is people are working the jobs they hate. They think they will have freedom in the future. They exchange slavery for temporary freedom, and when they're actually free or they're at their free time, they have their free time, they're still engaging in things that they're addicted to. You see what's happening here? Like, people are actually imprisoned in their free time also. So is that true freedom? You tell me. Freedom is when you have the ability to preserve your energy, preserve your sexual energy, preserve your physical energy, your mental energy. You know exactly where you want to direct your energy. That's true freedom to me, at least. So this is what I've discovered throughout my life, is that I was completely enslaved to all these addictions like drugs, weed, constantly seeking sex, or like lust, entertainment, drinking alcohol, maybe playing some video games here and there, doing all these basic bad habits I was. So now I see those things as complete slavery. You're working a job you hate, or you're studying something you don't kind of like, you're not sure about why you're studying something you're studying right now. You're not sure if you even want to continue on that path. Then whenever you have free time, these entertaining things are controlling you in your free time. Imagine that. You want to engage in these degenerate activities. You want to spend time with toxic people. You're addicted to all these dramatic people who evoke emotions in you, different kinds of emotions. You're an emotion druggie in a sense too. So the things you want to do in your free time are still controlling you. Yeah, of course, you want to have fun and all this stuff, and that's important too. You need to have fun in your life. But deep down inside, you know that that's not your main purpose. When you do these things that control you, you're having all this fun, but deep down inside, you have this kind of like guilt in your subconscious mind that you know that you're not kind of doing what you necessarily want. You're not creating a purpose in your life. So the idea of freedom that's sold to you is pretty deceiving. People are forced to use their free time very quickly in almost like a panic, because you need to use your free time quickly because you will be back doing something you hate. For example, your job. So that's a problematic lifestyle for me, at least, because I was trapped in a 9-to-5 for many years. I kind of invested the money in creative pursuits like music that I did in the past, but I didn't know how to move forward in my hobbies and in my other creative pursuits. And therefore, I was still very stuck making money, investing, played the stock market, lost some money. I had a bunch of bullshit going on in the past. But yeah, either way, I was stuck in this job I hated. And this made me feel like I have to quickly use my free time to like get the most of it, And that's a wrong way of living in my opinion. And when you're actually living this way, you're programming yourself to act like a slave. You're neglecting the hard things in your free time because you're already slaving away in your work. So it becomes very hard to pursue difficult things in your free time. And that's the problem. Like the ideal would be that you buy time. It's necessary to do something we don't like in life. That's inevitable. We sometimes have to do something we don't like for many years, but we have to have a plan in place. We have to invest in time. I'm not talking about like the stock market investing and stuff like that, because yeah, I've tried it, failed, and now I'm building my life from another angle. So Yeah, I'm kind of telling you the mistakes I made. So yes, you can invest your money into stock market. You can play the stock market, for example. A better option would be creating a business. Obviously, most people see that as a risky thing, but obviously there's an opportunity in today's world in terms of business because business is changing always. So we'll talk about that later. So yeah, and the other thing is that when you see this behavior everywhere, you see how people behave, you see how people act, you just follow them like a blind sheep. You see how everyone else is treating their valuable time, valuable energy, all the creative energy we have. You see how people are like blowing it to fucking waste. And they're just like draining themselves. So you start acting the same way. That's the problem. That's the programming. That's where we start to program ourselves to create these false beliefs. We don't believe in greater things anymore. We believe that there's only one conventional path and we cannot do anything else. We cannot succeed in anything else because you see the contrast between the rich and the poor. That's another thing that's fucking up our minds. You're basically following these guidelines of society, and obviously, yeah, there has to be some laws and guidelines in place, but I still think there's more bad than good in following other people blindly. So our goal is to become so disciplined, and this doesn't mean in a restrictive way. We just need to become disciplined in a free way. In a sense, we need to have the discipline to choose what we truly want in our lives. We need to kill all these temptations that make us feel guilty and shameful. Instead, we need to feel free through discipline. We need to feel rewarded through doing challenging things. We want to do things where we see the outcome, obviously, too, because that way we will feel rewarded. So we improve ourselves, we improve our lifestyle, we see the results. That's also important to see where you put your effort in. But again, we shouldn't be greedy about it. We shouldn't chase fast results. We should make a long-term plan and chase our ultimate purpose, which is like, it's a journey, you know? Your purpose is a long journey in life. It's not an end result. There's no ultimate goal in life. The ultimate goal is afterlife. And that's another thing where we will talk about in the future. These 3 principles, I think, that I came up with recently are good. So serving over gaining, purpose over fast results, and creation over consumption. You can even write those down and keep those in mind. And so to escape this illusion of freedom that we're sold to, we need to stop pursuing freedom through slavery. That's the first thing. We need to start thinking like free men. We need to start contributing to something greater than ourselves. We need to start doing good things that make us feel more connected as a society, because society is obviously falling apart and we're like getting more divided and divided. You see what's going on in the world yourself. Obviously, there will always be like this collision and war and stuff like that, but that's why I'm making this video again. Like, if you agree with what I'm saying, let's talk. You can comment below. Tell me what you think. Let's connect more deeply. Like, it's amazing how we can find each other through this online thing right now. Start talking to other people about your true opinions. If you agree with what I'm saying, you can like entertain these ideas further and let's grow these ideas together, We need to utilize what we're able to do, even if that's working a job we hate. We need to make money, create a plan, buy time for ourselves, invest wisely, seek for valuable knowledge, acquire meta skills, create value for the world, demonstrate our value, put ourselves in a position where we can help other people. This is the new opportunity in the business world. If you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're not familiar with online business, maybe you are. This is what makes it possible to live a better life, in my opinion. We need to stick to that one thing that we're passionate about, but also pursue other things that make it possible for us to monetize our passions. So maybe that's something we hate doing. For example, like with these videos. Now I'm recording this video, but after this, I have to edit this video. So that's maybe something I hate doing, but I have a bigger vision and a bigger purpose that I want to like spread the message in this video. So I'm glad to edit this video and do all the technical stuff because I know that I'm doing something that creates purpose for me. And lastly, I think a minimalistic mindset is also a good way to control your energy in a sense. So remove all the materialistic bullshit stuff you have right now. Eliminate all the toxic people around you. Eliminate the news. Eliminate the short videos. Eliminate what's stealing your energy. So that's how you'll start becoming more disciplined and taking more control over your true freedom. That's it for this video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Ciao.